Hello, I am Dongju, or DJ, whatever you want to call me, and in this video I'll be answering the question, how does your product use or challenge conventions and how does it represent social groups or issues? Our group's sequence, Calendar Prince, is a thriller that has numbers of conventions that used to create tense atmosphere and suspension. I'll discuss about these conventions by comparing to the media products of the similar genres, films such as Black Swan, Taken, and Kiss the Girls, and a TV series, The Blacklist. Starting with the conventions of editing, looking only at the opening sequence of our film, we challenged the convention of the main protagonist having majority of the screen time. We gave more screen time to the first dancer who gets killed in the sequence to create the world of our film, dancers being killed if they fail to achieve their expectations. On the other hand, we used shots filmed in slow motion to highlight the bruises on the back of the dancer. By using slow motion clips, the audience will be able to examine the scene with more caution, and therefore we could emphasize what we want to show to the audience. Sound-wise, thriller film uses a non-diegetic soundtracks to build up tension and reach the climax.
Easy, girl. Easy now. Come on.
Our sequence did not have this exact convention, but our diegetic soundtrack had a similar effect instead, acting as a sound bridge between the scenes. The volume of the soundtrack increases and the soundtrack becomes more harmonic when the bruises on the dancer's back are revealed. We also use diegetic sound effect of gunshot to surprise the audience. Loud gunshot is unsettling and could easily surprise the audience.
That was all personal to me.
We use this diegetic sound effect to connote that the dancer has been killed after being dragged out, without actually showing her dead body and surprising the audience who are hopefully worrying about the dancer. Talking about the gun, let's move on to mise-en-scène conventions. When the character holds a gun as a prop, generally the gun gives more power and status to the character holding it, and it could easily show the difference of status between characters when one character is being threatened by the other with a gun. To make the contrast of different status between the characters more significant, we also used makeups. Makeup is probably one of the conventions that we had extra focus on. Realistic wound or bruise makeup shows that the character is wounded, therefore the character is more vulnerable to the dangerous environment that he or she is exposed at. A light beaming towards a character from a rear side has been a great convention to make the character look strong and powerful from the old days. By putting a strong light source which shines the character from its rear side, the high status and the authority of the character will be established for the audience easily. The shadow over the character's face, which is created by the light, will also add a sense of mystery to the character. This is an effective device for a thriller film because the villain with a hidden identity, who also threatens the protagonist of the film, is a good way of creating suspension and tense atmosphere. We also use camera conventions to portray the character with high status and authority. We filmed the observer mostly in close-up or low-angle mid-shots, which overwhelms the film and makes the character look stronger. Contrast to this, the first dancer is mostly filmed as long shots and some as shots in high angle, which makes the dancer look small and weak. Additionally, we also use over-the-shoulder shots to show this juxtaposition in levels more clearly. We used camera compositions to make our dancer look more vulnerable and intolerant by placing the dancer under a tight spotlight in the middle of dark stage and leaving the most of the screen blank. This contrast makes the character look fragile and exposed to the unknown danger. Now, social groups and issues. First, I'll talk about gender. Stereotypically, men have stronger power over women, which also applies to the thriller film as well. Our group wanted to push this idea even further by using ballet as a main theme of our film. The ballet is classic and artistic dance which is mostly performed by women. The moves and the costumes of the ballet dancers are feminine and makes them look innocent and beautiful. This idea will contrast to the male power and support the stereotype of a weak woman being abused by a powerful man. For these reasons, we decided to cast a female actors for dancers and male actors for the villains, the observer and the bouncer. On the other hand, our group also wanted our protagonist to be unique, so we decided to subvert the stereotype of woman to some extent. To show this, we had the first dancer, who had similar age and identical costume with the protagonist, but the attitude towards the situation was different. The first dancer showed no sign of resistance or her emotion towards the unfair situation, even when she was getting killed. On the other hand, the protagonist shows more reaction and emotion towards the villains, and she glances the observer, which also differs from the first dancer, who never looked at the observer.
Begin.
The second social groups and issues that I want to talk about is age. To create suspense even more, our group wanted to emphasize the cruelty and brutality of the antagonists. To do this, we casted adult male actors who looks older than the female actors. The basic social norm of the society is that adults need to protect the children and teenagers. By subverting this, we were able to make our villains evil-like and create a tense atmosphere. And because such violence should not happen in real life, we rehearsed the actions of dancers being dragged in and out to look real but not hurting the actors in the same time. Right, that was it for task 1, and I'll catch up with you on tasks 2, 3, and 4. Thank you.